Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our third speaker from this training school. Our speaker is Xin Yao. I was a chair professor of computer science at the Southern University of Science and Technology in China, and a part-time professor of computer science at the University of America. His major research interests include evolutionary computation, ensemble learning, and surface software engineering. Recently, he has been working on AI ethics and how to work the AI, especially fairness in machine learning. He's an IEEE fellow, former president of IEEE Computation Society, and a former editor-in-chief of the IEEE Transactions of Evolutionary Computation. His research won the 2001 IEEE Think Prize Award and a number of other paid awards. I've skipped some of those awards, there are several. He received also the Royal Society for Western Research Merit Award in 2012, the IEEE Computation and Intelligence Society Evolutionary Computation Pioneer Award, the Pioneer Award in 2013, and the Frank Rosenblatt Award in 2020, the great list of awards. Actually, let's say that Xin Yao is also a very good friend. He has visited KIOS a number of times. He has brought snow to Nicosia in spring, and we went to Birmingham. Actually, and we had sunny days in some game. Without further ado, I'd like to have our speaker. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you to Lawrence for inviting me here. The afternoon talk is always interesting one, and it's very difficult for audience to stay away from it. In any case, I'm going to talk about something that I've been working on for a while. It's nothing to do with deep learning, just in case you are into current trend in machine learning. It reflects quite strongly on my original background in evolutionary computation. So I'm going to describe what multi-objective ensemble learning is and how it could be applied. So it looks like a lot of topics to cover in 1.5 hours. I will have a slightly longer introduction, such that you can sort of understand where I'm coming from. In the middle part, in terms of fast and balance learning, software estimation, approach to trustworthy AI, I won't go into a lot of details. I think if I can hit you for the first 2 bullet points, I reached my goal for this talk. Thank you. So what is ensemble? Very good. The answer. Well, ensemble is a very simple word to describe. If you are into machine learning, instead of thinking about one learner, we always think of a group of learners. And this group of learners, sometimes we call place learners, sometimes we call them individuals. Machine learning, people tend to call them place learners. So in this particular case, I think I want to focus on this case for it can be homogeneous because this group of learners it can be new and it be interesting otherwise is actually consistent with one of the you can use trees for making better analysis interesting It's so if you think of these packaging there, basically, person. So if sophisticated solution. Okay, I know people it's a site that very smart. So easy to solve. So it's very big. Second, If I use all these measures simultaneously, into multi-objective learning, each measure will be one objective in machine learning. And then I ask the question, if I consider multiple performance measures simultaneously, would I be able to come up with a machine learner which is robust against different measures? So it's not robust against input data anymore. I want something to be robust against different measures. No matter how you measure using different formulas, my machine learning models will be good. I want to ask the question whether it's possible. So this is slightly different from the previous one. Okay. So here's sort of a compressed work we did. I understand from problems. If you use different measures, they have certain type of relationship. Secondly, can we use these different performance measures simultaneously? It's kind of a diversity to create better software estimation models. Better here, as I elaborate, better interact against different performance measures. I wanted to be robust in that sense. So skipping all the details, this is actually a very interesting discovery of software engineers. The first discovery is when you use different performance measures, And these different performance measures will lead you to different paths. That's something rather unexpected for some engineers. This is surprising. I suspect that the reason eventually was accepted into software engineering. In general, they didn't expect this. I thought they thought it didn't matter what kind of measure they used because they're all different patterns. But actually, they behave very different. To be specific, this mean relative error, this logarithmic standard deviation, they can lead you to the opposite path. That means if you use one measure to develop a machine learning model, they publish papers say this is a fantastic model for effort estimation. And they use a different measure, and actually says it's a terrible machine learning model. That's a very interesting discovery in this part. The second research question is, okay, that's what we discovered, there seem to be some clashes or contradictions among different measures. And then we have this naive idea that I'm using multiple measures in the multi-objective learning framework. And then I hope I can come up with a model which is more robust against different measures. Can we actually do that? So the first observation is, yes, we can actually, when we improve the performance, this is the performance according to the individual measures we have. Not only can we improve this performance of this single objective learning, we can use this ensemble method to go one step further. Because if we use multi-objective learning, we get attention-based learners. Then we can use what I mentioned ensemble learning. The last one is the one which is most interesting. I use the 3 performance metrics in multi-objective learning. Once I build this machine model out of multi-objective learning, I evaluate according to additional performance measure which never used, not data, okay, performance. According to this additional performance measure which was never used in the learning process, this learning model are also very good. And that's not possible to achieve if you only look at one single performance measure. So this is actually repeating, this is actually the experimental result to support what I'm trying to invite works here. In this particular slide, these 3 columns here, obviously MMRE and threat. Those 3 measures are 3 objectives I used in learning process. The later 3 columns are measures, performance measures, which were never used anywhere in the machine learning process. After we learn the machine learning model with the support of these first 3 objectives, and then we evaluate this learner model for the last 3 metrics, they still perform best for this compare method. So this compare method is RT means regression tree as a backing method. Backing method plus regression tree, backing method plus NLP, logistic regression plus lots of different methods. Okay? All these methods were reported to be one of the best within solving effort estimation. So that's quite interesting how it can help enhance the robustness against different measures used. And this is particularly interesting or useful if you have some kind of real-world problem where it's very difficult to come up with a precise performance measure. So you might have a kind of estimation performance measure. It's also very useful if you have a real-world situation where the performance measure
is not one-dimensional in a sense. If you look at performance, you have different aspects you are interested in, and then you want to capture all these different aspects. So this approach would be quite useful as well. For software engineering. The last example I want to go through is a slightly newer word, trustworthy data. Lots of people ask me, what do you mean by trustworthy? So my honest answer is, I don't really know. It sounds like a very interesting word. And if I try to peel the onion, for example, to see what exactly means to be trustworthy, here are some dimensions I believe should be included in trustworthy. Okay. Transparency is very important. If you claim you have built a trustworthy AI system, but it's not transparent, it's very difficult to argue it's trustworthy. And transparency is closely linked to explainability, understandability, etc., disclosure, sharing. So these keywords were selected from these guidelines or principles AI published by government, industrial associations, and some ones UN has published, or the smaller ones, city government associations published by the city. The second dimension about the trustworthiness is the fairness and justice. The third one is about responsibility. So anyway, you can come up with this one. How do we come up with this? We just look at official documents, over 100, nearly 200 of them. And then you pick up the most of the keywords, and then putting these keywords into categories. And then up with this. Lots of them. Some of them we are very familiar with, less familiar. But all these have one interesting observation. Now this one from the when I look at this, geez, well, I can really cancel everyone. Because I don't understand how can I measure this fairness and justice? How do I measure fairness and justice? Because what's fair to you will not be fair to me. How do we get to that? It's very easy to say something conceptual. Government almost very bad. And then ask yourself, well, you go and something to say, how do I do this? Because I don't know what this word means. This is precisely what we encountered in this trustworthy AI. I pick up one area which is very popular here, the fairness and achievement. The other topic is explainable AI. If you look at this, this is a literature survey was done in 2022. You can see if you compare all of 2022. But what you imagine, if you look at scale, you can see even on the topic of fair machine learning, not even fair AI, which is broad topic. You get 700 papers or 800 papers per year. So very good for publishing papers that will have a job. But how do you get these areas to progress? This is how maybe you comes to what I said. A simple concept of fairness. There are more than 20 different metrics already in 2018. Okay, so this is actually from 2018. I'm pretty sure in the last 5 years, there are more metrics being proposed in terms of what's fair. If you look at all these proposed fairness metrics, you can see they're all coming from different perspectives. So you can broadly classify them into these 5 categories from this paper. you can define fairness based on predicted outcomes. So basically it says, if I have one sensitive attribute in classification, like gender, for example, if I am going to develop a fully automated recruitment system, I want to ensure fairness by deciding the outcome of the recruitment is not dependent on sensitive attributes. Okay, I can make that statement. And then I can convert that statement in terms of mathematical expression. So the probability of recruitment, the coefficient have should be irrelevant with respect to or whatever. But you can also define fairness based on predicted outcome and actual outcome. So I can give you an example. If you come up with a face recognition system, for example, past. If the system accuracies are exactly the same, but the error rate is different for different groups of people, an example of people might be happy. Put yourself into the shoes of those people. Let's say this is the cycles passing through this face recognition system, and it forms a cyclic pass. If you 100 is one state, recognize the face and the same to these human channels. But if you look at the message lines, which is the face could I think the group is big uncomfortable for one end because the system seems to be very good for some group, for others. So these are different effects. So second thing. So these different outputs predicted and actual. You can come up with quite a lot of fairness metrics definition. I want to each one of them are because so all of them make sense because it captures the fairness in certain aspects. Now the interesting thing comes up. Okay, you want to be fair? Okay. There are evidences which have shown, okay, not because I'm saying. Fairness is contradiction to accuracy. If you want to build a machine learning system which is very accurate, you will damage fairness. Then you say, which fairness? Okay, it's kind of second challenge. You look at the different aspects of a very quality word fairness, and you try to quantify using one metric. There are certain metrics which are contradictory to each other as well. So this word is very interesting because if I pick up one of its metrics and make my learning system to be very fair according to its metric, according to this result, this system will be very unfair according to the different metric. What do you do? They say, maybe something wrong in your study. This is not even my study. They are actual studies. Papers on that, papers on the left. And then the either of the day, this is called the impossibility theory. That means that you can't really get the maximum accuracy that they are the best fairness according to multiple measures. They're not possible. Okay. So put that on the side. Let's buy into this. Now the question to all of us is, what do we do? Basically, if you tell me this impossibility theory, basically, there's nothing to do with anything. Okay. So now I'm sounding like someone with a hammer looking for a nail. So, well, this looks like a nail which is suitable for my hammer. If we have multiple metrics, some are contradictory to each other, and that sounds what we investigate in multi-objective optimization. Because in multi-objective optimization, the multiple objective is because of conflicts among multiple objectives. What will tell you is in human conflict between accuracy and the fairness, there's also inherent conflict among multiple fairness metrics. It can treat all this as a separate objective. So indeed, that was our original motivation. If I treat accuracy and multiple fairness metrics as a separate objective, using multiple objectives, I can come up with something which better. Better means I can come up with better trade-offs around these metrics. Instead of maximizing probably one metric and then really sacrifice another metric. I don't want to take that situation. The short answer is yes. The short answer first, and then I'll give you time to give details. We can indeed use a multi-objective learning approach to improve fairness. In this case, I am treating this accuracy and multiple fairness metrics simultaneously. So this algorithm is not really new because I did a lot of work in evolving neural networks before. So this is an old framework that I use here. And then I use one of the existing multi-objective optimization algorithms as the learning algorithm. So this really says that if I have an initial population, this model 1, model 2, basically is machine learning population models, and then I have a model training process, I have a fitness evaluation process as model evaluation, and then I have a weighting selection, and then the so-called strategy is traditional evaluation. At the new generation, so this is the evolutionary process. But this evolution process is driven by a multiple objective rather than a single objective. So skip this part. So the only message I want to transmit is I did invent this evolutionary process from start that I used in previous work. The findings from our experimental studies. So the algorithm can indeed simultaneously optimize several fairness metrics without sacrificing accuracy too much. And so this is actually a very positive use. I won't get into a situation where I want very accurate model for multiple fairness metrics. One is terrible. I don't think it's a situation anymore. This point is somewhat similar to this software engineering example I mentioned. Anyway, I'm still doing some work with my students. They would like to observe more on other problems, because this is a very good property. It says I use the sum fairness metrics in learning process. Once learned, I evaluate this machine learning model using the fairness metrics not used in the learning process. Still very good. That means I have some robustness against different metrics. Finally, if I use ensemble approach, I always improve against any single individual. I generated using multiple objectives. So this is observation, not very surprising, it's to confirm what I said. So that's actually what I want to emphasize for trustworthy AI. If we look at fairness, and then we can decompose this fairness into separate metrics, and then we use multi-objective learning to optimize several metrics simultaneously. We don't really use all these 20+ metrics, we can use just substantive. A similar approach can be used to look at other dimensions of trustworthiness, because I use the table to show a lot of properties of interesting transparency, and there's responsibility. All these words has quite rich meanings. So let me just try to convince you with certain things. look at model explainability. It's kind of what AI shared all the two most popular topics in the case. Within AI explainability, I pick up some simple topic. It's called feature attribution explanation. So feature attribution explanation it's very simple to understand. Even let's say I have some kind of machine learning model. I observe its output, and then I want to understand for this given output, given particular set of input, how much contribution each input contributes to this output. For any particular, it's called local because I'm looking at per data sample. For this data sample, I feed to this machine learning model. This machine learning model has one output. Then I ask the question, how much contribution each input contributes to the output? I want to understand that. So this is a local feature explanation. I want to find this. So you can imagine I want to find a vector. And each element of a vector indicates for a particular input contribution to the output. So then it's all this input contributors to the output. So these two figures just actually illustrate usefulness that people say, oh, that's the visualization you can do. If you use this feature attribution explanation, you can come up with this. You can see for this particular classification, there's a lot of influence of this kind of pixel values for the final classification. For this output, there's a lot of contributions from these pixels to the final classification. So this is actually one particular branch of explainability. So these slides by now you could have guessed, because there's such qualitative measure or concept in terms of explainability. How do you evaluate the explainability is always an issue. So if I come up with an explainable model to what I just said, how do you know the explanation model is good? How do you measure? There are a lot of intuitions. One intuition is that, of course, if you come up with an explanation model, the simpler explainable model must be faithful to the original model. Faithful, otherwise it explains nothing else. So that's faithfulness. Then you can come up with formulas, not important. Then you can see this minus sign. It gives you an idea. It's the output of the complex black box model and the explainable model. And then there's sensitivity. How sensitive this explainable model to the input. There's a complexity. It's a very interesting one. There's a bit more on that. If I come up with explainable model to a black box model, I want this explainable model to be as simple as possible. It's just requirements. So one observation is obviously different papers focus on different aspects. So a number of recent papers I collect, so if you found one piece there, have used the multiple criteria in evaluating the explainable model. So as an outsider, I've been doing this work actually only just for a year. For outsider, I say this is very strange. Because I always discuss with people in explainable AI, XAI. I said, I'm new, I'm trying to learn, but when I learn this, I always have this question. Whenever you say explainable AI, I wonder who is explaining what to whom. I don't know whether you think about it. In case they have been interested in AI explainability. Who explaining what to whom? This smart health is very popular. AI plus medicine is very popular these days. And I say, as a machine learner, if I come with a model, do you want this model to be explainable to a developer like me? Or do you want this model to be explainable to a doctor who are using this? Or do you want to use this to explain to a patient? In my naive thinking, these three group of people require different explanation. If you give me a basic model as an explainable model, I'm very happy. So I can't understand this problem. If you give a basic model to a patient, he'll laugh at you. He'll say, what do you mean? Why do you give this statistical model? He or she will probably prefer a reasoning chain. Why do you come up with a particular diagnosis? Why do you give me this particular prescription? So it's actually illustrated. It's not so easy as this measurement illustrated. For machine learning developer, I care a lot more about the face models. I can handle something slightly more complex. For patient, if you give something more complex, if you say you try to cheat me, okay, because doesn't really understand what's going on. He probably prefer our explainable model, which is simpler, simplifies it a little bit in a Facebook is okay. So this actually really to illustrate the current sort of popular research papers somehow do not match my taste or interest. We ought to consider this multiple aspects simultaneously. And then when we consider these multiple aspects, we should have the person we want to explain to in mind. So we actually choose what kind of explanation model we want to provide. That's precisely what multi-objective learning can do for it, because multi-objective learning can take multiple measurements or metrics simultaneously. It come up with a diverse set, but diversity is precisely different trade-offs among these metrics. So if it can come up with a simpler, or not exactly like faithful model, it can also come up with a very faithful model, but complexity is very high. Okay. So this is actually the evidence we want to pass on. The mechanics of doing the work is not that hard. You need a bit of patience to get this work done. So this formula says instead of having a simple objective learning, we formulate a multi-objective learning. So we have this multiple objective, we call this U1 to UK K different objectives. In terms of evolutionary framework we use, so this is the evolutionary framework, is very similar, or the framework is exactly the same as the framework I use for fair machine learning. The details are different, the crossover, the mutation are different because of the representation is slightly different in order to satisfy explainability requirements. I want to show just one set of experimental results. So actually, a particular association of a framework where the optimization objectives will pick up three metrics: faithfulness, sensitivity, and complexity. There are actually other metrics we can use. And the model we still use neural networks, slightly more familiar with. The algorithm we use is MSJ2 by KIOS that we can use on a multi-objective optimizer as well. That's not the crucial point. In terms of comparison, we have to be very careful in choosing the best method, and we also choose the method when we focus on different aspects. So these are the data sets people use. It's very difficult to use a different data set because from application point of view, if you use a data set, people always ask, what happens if you use this paper's data set? Why don't you do a comparison there? This is really the issue. From my point of view, these data sets are not very good data sets because not challenging. But if everybody uses it, you don't use it, we will become very suspicious. What will you use it on this? So compared with these, especially the first three, some will not be very familiar with each other to this. This is the for setting of the evolutionary algorithm here as cross-over computation, whether it's for science or use. To summarize or compress the entire research, we can first of three questions. Some of the questions, I think the answers will be straightforward. Some are slightly less straightforward. The very first one is to look at the problem itself, because I explained in words, it sounded like there are complex among different objectives, especially when I explained faithfulness and complexity. But we did have some data to support it. So the first question is whether these three metrics are actually indeed in conflict with each other. Second one is slightly less forward, is if we do use these three different metrics simultaneously, we come up with better result. Better is more competitive result. When we come up with better competitive result, come up with a more competitive result, we have to look at all three measurements because we don't want to bias towards one or too much. The third one is follow-up one is if we are taking so-called stakeholder into account, who are we explaining to? Are we able to pick up on the final result in the trade-offs? So the first question is somewhat straightforward. The answer is these three performance metrics for explainable models, they do have conflicts with each other. Maybe not explain why all published paper that we use only one latest paper one, because it's kind of difficult for them to handle multiple metrics simultaneously. And the second one is if we consider multi-objective approach, then we advance the state bar. And this is actually a very tricky question because let me put this scenario to you to illustrate it's not a tricky question. If someone is looking at one objective of come up with an algorithm, okay, and then you come into the picture and say, I want to look at three objectives, and then you come up with outcome. And then the final comparison is for those who are looking at only one objective, they have one model. And you look at three objectives, you have another model. When you compare these two models, you still look at the single objective people used. So one intuition may be, when you look at three things, you won't be able to do that well when you focus on one thing. It's kind of intuition. If you focus on one thing, you should do better when looking at three things. But our result actually say, at least for current experimental result, not all is the case. When you look at three objectives simultaneously, and then when you compare the result according to only one objective previous people do, according to one objective, you can still come up with a better result. It's possible, it's not possible because one possibility is the previous model is wasn't a track as well according to one single objective. But anyway, I just want to illustrate it's not that straightforward. to be better when you look at the stream objective, but be evaluated on one objective. And the third research question that is very similar to what I just said. If I use multi-objective learning algorithm, I come up with a set of machine learning models. All of them I call explainable models. And I can choose these explainable models according to the stakeholders I'm interested in, whether they are totally explained to patients or to doctors or to machine learning developers. And then we can achieve statistical test even the differences from previous design statistics. Okay, so I say quite a lot. I won't details. You can see each topic. One, two, and the detail of our key messages. So I only have three things to say. One is really try to sell this idea of multi-objective learning. And I keep saying that if you use multi-objective learning, you could formulate some of the problems. You see, it's very naive or very trivial into something more interesting. If you do buy into the idea of multi-objective learning, please do think of ensemble learning because it's so natural. Multi-objective learning gives you a set of diverse models. What do you select one model so the rest? Why don't you use an ensemble approach to kind of combination of all these diverse models? So that's the first message. The second message is there are a lot of existing problems and future problems can be handled by multi-objective learning. Existing problems are what I mentioned in class learning, software engineering. Future problems are implied trustworthy AI. It's kind of starting emergent area. Everyone has his own take on it. I think there are a lot of room to contribute to the problem. Seem to capture the essential aspects of trustworthy AI. Because trustworthy is very woolly term, but different way to quantify. The last bit, it really says the weakness of this particular work I present to you. They're all experimental and computational, very few theories behind it. That's why in the beginning I said this is very informal because by nature they are very good in theory. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. I think we have a few questions. Any questions? There's a big question. It doesn't mean of course to answer. A lot of explanations for this topic comes from questions which I can't get answer, but I thought this is a good topic. Some point.
One thing that came to my mind your presentation is, so nowadays with this deep learning applications that take days and months to, let's say, train one model, when you have multi-objective programming, you have to run like 1,000 generations to get an answer. How feasible is it to use it in large scale?
So, yeah. So the approach I mentioned, obviously, the base learner should not be a deep learner because computationally it's not feasible. So I read one paper. What that paper did was to take the last layer of deep learner and then run this network correlation. The reason I found it because they use the correlation of the last layer of it. And that's like a computation with the equations. So you only train the last layer space. It didn't change the remaining of the deep model. So if you try to come up with a sample learning from scratch for deep models, computation models. So that's something about this.
The question I had was about that result you mentioned about when you have an example, you cannot do worse. I mean, by looking at everyone. Doesn't this depend on how you're going to combine the outcome of all? For example, if I have a really vocal bad student, it's going to maybe bias the results towards the wrong answer, towards the
For the regression, it won't be worse than any of this individual. So the combination method is a simple averaging. So
simple average, and that's how you get the regression. So you already
so result was just using simple averaging.
Other questions?
Yeah, well, first bullet point here. So when this result was derived, it's assumed that you have mutually independent base learners, and then base learners output have been averaged in that output.
But again, in this one, you have to pick your objective function again. Correct? Or are you taking the average of all?
This one is the objective to be spread.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can, so I can verbally describe it. So if you have a sample in this particular setting, you have the mean square error. Eventually, you can decompose just derivation into three terms. Traditionally, you have a bias term, you have a variance term. If you have a sample this way, you have a covariance term. Bias term is a square variance, so it's greater than zero. Variance term is also a square, it's the value minus this average. Covariance term can be negative. So this actually, if you look at a formula derivation of the three terms, bias, variance, and covariance. The trick is not universally good. Is if you reduce this covariance term to be very large negatively, inevitably you will push up the bias term and variance term. So traditionally, in machine learning, you notice bias variance dilemma. In ensemble learning, you have a similar bias variance and covariance dilemma. So when I say in this formula, I'll tell you of the very qualitative story. When I said, look, it has two terms. If you make this second term negatively maximized, you can reduce the error. But if you do that, sometimes it will push up this first term. So these two terms are correlated. That's why it's not the answer. Yes.
Okay. I can understand the inverse relationship between fairness and accuracy, because if you prioritize fairness, then you are equally bad at everything. But I cannot see the inverse happening, because if you optimize towards accuracy instead of fairness, then you will have, for example, a classification problem. You have three classes, and you are very good at recognizing two of them and measurably worse at the third one. So if you try to optimize towards accuracy, and you improve all three classes, then you are intrinsically fair. So can you elaborate a bit more on this inverse relationship?
Okay, I don't know whether I could use an example to illustrate this. First example, let's say you have a classification problem, and you want to recognize faces, let's say. And then in the data set, I collected maybe a lot of, let's say, Chinese faces. And relatively few faces. And then eventually you maximize accuracy. You need to imagine without going into details. This accuracy will have to look out Chinese faces more than black faces. If you care about accuracy. Then you look at group fairness. Group fairness is the second category I mentioned right here. It's not fair because, as I said, it classifies Chinese faces with a higher accuracy, and it's a black faces with lower accuracy. It's actually challenging. Here's another example. They say not fair. What do? Then you could do say, okay, I'm going to increase the fairness of black faces. Okay, I can use sampling methods. I can use cost-sensitive methods. I can use ensemble methods to increase the fairness between black faces and these Chinese faces. Now I encourage you to think. When I increase the fairness, do I actually sacrifice the accuracy of the Chinese faces, or do I actually increase the accuracy of black faces? It's extremely hard to increase accuracy on black faces because there is data. That's actually quite an easy way out, like to decrease Chinese faces accuracy a little bit, and then make these two group values satisfied. I think that's just one example to illustrate this inherent conflicts between accuracy versus you care about and then fairness measure. So I mentioned this will have it's called group fairness. There are other types of fairness as well. You can find examples where there's a conflict between the two. I actually suspect, I suggest to one of my students saying this would be a very impactful research work to do, is to look at the fair machine learning domain, pick up some of this well-cited paper, and then peel the surface to see whether their fairness achieved by sacrificing the accuracy of certain groups. Because that's always a discussion point in what the panel participating.
Is it, do you think it's equivalent to putting more weight on some of the samples, essentially, so at the expense of others?
That's cost-sensitive methods of doing. If you do that, it's quite easy to overfit for these heavily weighted ones. The other thing I want to mention was in our discussion, there was one particular point of view into the fairness. If I have these two groups, as I mentioned, okay, in order to get this group fairness, I probably have to sacrifice the accuracy of Chinese faces, let's say. Then, for individual fairness, you can also ask a question, that's not fair, because the system can indeed have higher accuracy on Chinese faces. Why do you make it lower? Because when you make it lower, you don't really increase the performance of black faces. You just make these two the same. Then people say, well, that's not fair either. You could do better, but you didn't do it. And then when you settle that accuracy, you don't actually bring any additional benefit out of those. Why do you do that? So this fairness issue is a very interesting one because it's been like the concept which is inherently not quantifiable as qualitative, and then you can take different point of view. Whenever you take different point of view, you can project it to a particular plan as one number. That number only captures certain elements of fairness. Anyway, that's a very long answer to your simple question in terms of accuracy versus fairness. So these are on the left-hand side of this particular plot was from the reference down below. I think that they describe a lot more in terms of conflict between the accuracy and the fairness and different types of fairness as well. I think this is more interesting work than just look at the metrics. Look behind what metric means, I think can be more interesting. And that conflicts among different metrics. Because from a particular point of view, it all makes sense. But if you develop a system, supposing you spin off company trying to sell government a software, then you have to justify why this is a trustworthy system, why this is fair.
Probably can take a break and then.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much indeed.
So if when we go for it,